Fletch, Brooksy, good to have you back, boys. Excited to hear some of the stories.
Oh, it's good to be back. It's good to be back. Yeah, just a little bit flat today. Brooks, you're up and about. You're up and about, aren't you?
I feel like I'm going to fall heavily at some stage. I did get a lot of sleep, but 2 coffees. I feel like I'm...
Yeah, before Tom Petty.
Yeah.
I didn't have any coffees
shares.
over the last week because, as you know, the Seppos can't do coffee. So I said, I'm going to drop off. No, I think this could be it.
Really?
I've gone cold turkey.
But aren't the benefits good for the coffee?
Don't know. You hear it's like dark chocolate.
Yeah.
It's good for the ticker. Then I hear Viagra is good for the ticker. Moderation. That.
Max Rushton's going to be good for the show. He's turning up at 4:30. Shawnee Omrod from Sportsbet. We've got Team List Tuesday, which is back. So realistically, rugby league in its full...
Hasn't kicked off yet.
It kicks off today at 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
It kicks off today at 4 o'clock. But boys, you've both been abroad. What do you want to talk about?
It was just fantastic. It was an awesome experience. I know I'm a little bit flat now, but just reminiscing about what went on. Fremont Street, which was Old Vegas.
Had you been there before?
I'd been to
It's the Mickey.
Yeah, it is good.
Were you at the Fan Fest?
Yeah, that was insane.
They looked like they nailed that.
Yeah. The Stafford brothers, they got up and say it was such a good vibe.
Yeah.
And, I was speaking to a lot of Americans who started watching rugby league. The common denominator with the Seppos watching our game is during COVID, a lot of them saying there was no other sport on. So we just put it on. And
oh, really?
Yeah. Love the game. I got a guy called Corey Jackson, and I've got his book.
CJ.
So he wrote a book, first of all, just for his neighbourhood.
Yes.
Rugby League 101. So during COVID, he wanted to know, all his neighbours didn't understand the rules, so he wrote it out. And I've got a copy of it. I'll bring it in.
Really?
Because he said, I don't know all the rules, so I'd made up a few rules. I said, that's okay. That's okay. A couple of our referees do exactly the same thing. But the Yanks were, that was my highlight, trying to explain the game to them.
Okay, so you're at the NRL today and you're crunching numbers ahead of next year. 2 questions. There was 40,000 in attendance.
Yes.
What percentage of those people are back next year? Considering most would be Australians who've got to travel. And the second question is, if we got 40, what are we budgeting for next year? Is 40 another win, or do we go...
Oh, it's got to be 50.
It's got to be 50.
I think you'll get 50. So a lot of my Punters Club boys, they went, but a lot didn't. So I think there's a lot of guys thinking, and girls, seeing it. It came across okay on the TV, did it?
Yep. Oh, great.
Did it? Yeah.
Yeah, great.
So... I'd imagine a lot of people are saying, I missed the boat here.
Punters clubs left, right and centre are saving now to be in Vegas next year.
Absolutely. I would say maybe let's go on 50% return. The people that went.
50%?
Yep.
It's a big number.
You reckon?
That's a big number.
What would you think?
Oh, I just think that once you've done it and you're over there and you're all caught up in it, but when time starts to go and maybe you're in a relationship and somebody says, listen, champ, you had a crack last year.
Okay.
Cool your jets. I reckon if you got 25% back.
Oh, okay. 1 in 20, right?
That'd be huge.
I don't know. But you got to combine it with a golf tour.
Yep.
The boys from Orange, they're listeners of the show.
So who would pay the price? Is it the Melbourne Cup that pays the price for the Punters Club now going to Vegas? Who pays that price?
The Gold Coast, they're paying the price.
Gold Coast.
Magic Round could pay a price there. Instead of going to Brisbane, you might save up a bit more and go to Vegas.
I tell you what, one conversation I had with a family, I don't want to name them because I was sworn to secrecy. We met them in the, they were out in the Strip, and I'll call her Sue. That's not her real name. They're from central west of New South Wales.
Okay.
And we're chatting away. First time the two boys had ever been on a plane.
How
First
old?
time 13 and 11. First time they've ever been on a plane. First time they've ever been out of Australia.
Yep.
And
otherwise they're on a boat.
Vegas.
Sorry, Vegas. Well, could be on a boat. Could be on a cruise. I'm still jaded. And the mother came to me and just whispered. She said, I don't want to embarrass my husband, Bob. But Bob had a day job.
Yep.
But was stacking shells at Coles, then cleaning offices at night to save. It was a surprise for the two boys.
That's good.
And I was just going,
Father of the year.
You're the Michael.
Yep.
I bought him a Michael.
Yep.
Bought him a Michael Jackson voucher to go and see the Michael Jackson look-alike. But no, it was very. So it's all stories like that.
Yeah. I've never seen you do this, Brian, but to the left of you is this big round clock, a world clock, and it's got all the times everywhere. And you've been glancing fairly often at the clock. And it's a bit like when we used to play, Brian, and it's the last game of the year and you can't make the semis. I probably knew more about that than you. You usually played semis. But when you can't make the semis and it's your final game, the amount of glancing at said clock do you do?
Dean Lansing, yeah.
Oh, Dean Lance.
No, I'm okay. We're going to do push-ups, and I suggest and I encourage our listeners.
Yes.
You only got to do 4 minutes. 4 minutes every hour.
Okay.
Just do some squats. From the Barn Owl. Barn Owl says, Fletch, did you get honey trapped? Did not get honey trapped.
No.
But got ripped off.
What's honey trapped?
You know, and the LJs come up to you and say, yeah.
The Colonels.
The Colonel, yeah. Take this pill. Take this. Yeah, it's going to. Oh, the Colonel. Didn't see many Colonels.
No.
I did.
Yeah.
Because I've been there before, so I knew what was coming. They sort of come out at night, funnily enough,
right.
at about just after 12.
No.
They're like zombies.
So you don't think they're timing their run, do you?
Well, I think they just wait.
Yeah.
And they just get let loose.
Mackay Diva.
And no honey traps. The boys are all been, well, let's hope nothing's happened last night, because Ludacris was the after party.
Did you get to that?
I didn't get to that.
No.
I was downstairs. But guess who was
Any
there?
reports?
Manly were there.
Yeah.
Braith and Nasta was there, if you saw the Daily Mail.
Yeah.
He's been pinched. And guess who else who was up there? Buzz Rothfield. Spotted. 4:30 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
Just filling up cups like double D's. With Ludacris.
Oh, you know what? We need to give Buzz a chance to respond to alleged.
No, I saw him in the foyer.
Oh.
I saw him in the Oscar.
Oscar, well, you watched the doco on Oscar
I did
too,
watch
yeah?
the Oscar de la Hoya. But I saw Buzz was so excited.
Was he?
Like, because he was up a bit further in the front of the plane. And he'd come back down and he'd say, what's going to happen? What are we going to get into?
He was an Air Force One as well.
Yeah. And we were at this bar one night. I was with all the journos.
Yeah.
So it was me, Heidi, Matty, Webby, Brent Reed, Buzz, Jacko, the great, and we were, I don't know how I ended up. I ended up with this giant chalice. It was huge. It was, I don't know where I got it from, but it could fit on your head. It could fit on passing. I don't know where I got it from.
Chalice in the palace, yeah.
So then we were making, I made a concoction of just drink, but you had to sit around like a carver ceremony.
That's like you in front of a Lazy Susan, you do that. Yeah.
But I just went up to the bar, and it cost me a squillion. Yeah. But I said, can you just make me some punch? Something, and we were just sitting around. It was me and the journos.
Yeah.
Because you know how I'm a journo.
Yeah, you're a journo.
I'm a journo.
Yeah.
And it's funny how they write their stories on their phone.
Do they?
Yeah, shorthand's gone.
And are they emailing them, or are they straight onto the site?
Yeah, no, they were doing it, and they send it off to their editor. Like,
wow.
1,000 words they're going to come up with. That's a pretty tough job when you're getting in some
bloody oath. So more about the plane trip, though.
Yes.
The mood getting onto the plane, Air Force One, when you got there, versus the mood where Vegas has taken an almighty defeat over many individuals. Shell. Was it completely different?
Completely. So we had all the fans were at the back of the plane. So they could buy tickets onto the chartered plane. We were sitting in Bizzo, which I felt a little bit guilty, but that didn't last that long, my guilt. And then we were surprised that Nathan and I had to, apparently we were advertised as going to hang out with...
Well, unbeknownst
to us.
Okay.
But we took it on, and we're getting at the back. A lot of Manly supporters.
Really?
A lot of Manly supporters, I found. Yes.
Did you get the free kit, the Qantas kit?
PJs, oh yeah.
The flying kangaroo on the front?
Yeah, had them on. And then you got to be careful when you go to the Brasco because stains are quite evident. Because, you know, grey, if you've got a little bit of water there, it goes dark grey.
Yes.
So when you go for a les, you got to rinse.
You got to pad down.
Heavy pad. I told you that, Rod, didn't I? Push, pull, let it go out.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, the Franklin. You got to get through the
You
Franklin.
gave us that. Speaking of the Americans, I did not know that the run home with Joel and Fletch is a huge hit, tourist. This made it all over the globe. The run home with John and Fletch. It's taken off in the States. Look, we'll take that. We'll take that. Apparently, these young ladies think it's the best podcast on the planet, Brooks.
So I went up to the top tier where the Flame was during the game. I walked around to try and get a bit of a vibe on the concourse, but up the top there, the Flame, you've got the charger, you've got the cooler for your tall boy.
Yep.
You had that great aspect, behind the post, up high, great spot to watch some footy. And a lot of locals were getting the $20 tickets.
Yep.
So they were sitting up the top of the ends and they were just coming in. There was generally pairs of like couples, married couples. There was a gentleman that worked at the Raiders as a ground staffer that never went to a Raiders game when he was off the clock. So he saw the deal, $20 tickets, took his wife. They loved the first game. But then there was like a couple, these two ladies that had come up and heard about it. They were locals. And I got them to do a promo for your show,
No, you didn't. You did not get them to do a promo. They came up to you. They recognised the voice as the captain of the run home with Joel and Fletch. And this is what they had to say.
There's only one podcast that I listen to from Australia, and it is Joel and Fletch.
John and Fletch.
What, did you correct her?
Joel and Fletch.
Good on you, John.
I did. I got 2 takes, but I had to use that one. It was great. John and Fletch, biggest fans.
Did you find that when you were at the bar, can I, excuse me, madam, can I have 6 beers? Huh? You had to say beer.
We
really-
speak very quickly and we don't emphasise the R's like they
Yes,
do.
butter.
We're hearty.
Yeah, well, a bit party. So
Yeah.
I, had to keep, I found myself going, can I have 6 beers?
Yes.
That was, and the other thing that did my head in, receipt. 1 receipt.
Oh.
2 receipt.
No.
3 receipt.
Yeah.
Then they take it back. You
Yeah.
put your card on. Then they bring you back said first receipt. Can you please sign that? No problem. Then they take it back. Then they got the manual receipts. Then they put them digitally. Digitally. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Digitally. Very hard to say.
The more you say it,
Digitally.
the more
Very
it
hard.
sounds.
Then they got to convert it into their computer.
Yeah.
It was taking so long.
I know. But what about the double tip? So unbeknownst to us, they'll say, oh, yeah, the bill's $120.
Yeah.
And there's already a tip in that.
Gratuity included.
And then we gratuit again.
Yeah.
It's
That's one thing I'm just off them.
Yeah.
That
Alan.
and the honey traps.
Yeah, that's right. 1300 01 1170. What you did miss yesterday,
Yes.
the tourist, he had to speak at a wedding, Brian.
Oh.
And we know that it's easy to speak at weddings. We know it's easy to be funny on a tennis court. Tourist, have you got your speech there?
Yeah, I can find it here for you.
Because what I'd like to do, tourist, is it's a bit of a cheap crowd, the wedding crowd.
Yeah.
Right? So I'd love our listener to be a true judge of what you came up with.
Okay, so it was a joint speech with me and my partner Laura.
Okay.
So am I doing all of it or am I just doing my lines?
You just whatever you think.
Okay, here we go. Good afternoon, everyone. If we could have your attention for a couple of minutes while we kick off the rest of this evening's beautiful reception. We are honoured that Emily and Andrew have asked us to speak today. We are Laura and Mark, friends of the couple, and we're the ones who play board games with them every other weekend.
That got a few chuckles, didn't it?
Got a few chuckles.
Yeah, got a few chuckles, yeah.
We'd like to start by thanking you for being here today to celebrate Andrew and Emily.
Yeah, that's good.
A small
Brooksy,
bit of housekeeping.
do your job, Brooks.
We are
Thank you very much.
my own desk,
No offense.
my own buttons.
No offense.
Did you get to the good stuff, or was
Yeah.
that?
Nah, it's all housekeeping bollocks. It was very lovely, very easy.
What got you the best laugh? Was it the board game? Little.
Oh, it was later on when I mentioned all the people from.
Well, go and do it.
Thank you. Oh, I kind of ad-libbed it, so that's why.
Ah,
it was,
well,
that's
thank you.
good.
Thank you for coming from Canberra, or people coming from New Zealand. People came from America. People coming from even as far away as Melbourne.
That old
yeah.
chestnut.
And they absolutely love that.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. Well done, tourist.
You'll get a residency soon.
I know. Hillborough, they call me.
1300 01 1170 is the way to communicate. We need you, folks. We need you because half the team here are a little bit wounded, it sounds. Half the team,
No,
as
we're
I was
fine.
yesterday.
We're fine. I played golf at this terrific course. It wasn't Wolf Creek. It was the sister of Wolf Creek. But you get a lateral drop if you go off the fairway into the desert because there's snakes, rattlesnakes. And I didn't believe him. And there's rattlesnakes out there. So if you want to hit because you don't want to drop. I did wipe 8 holes though.
Ooh,
Yeah, it was bad.
first time.
What's a female wolf called?
Female.
There's
Sharon?
no specific name for female wolves. But they are sometimes called she-wolves. Brian, why is Sparman in the rundown?
Sparman, because I read into the Sparman.
You ran into the Sparman.
So the Sparman introduced himself.
He's a big dog out there.
He was actually strapping the trophy into the broom cupboard.
He's a mad strapper.
I love to strap it.
Yeah.
But I just jamming pillows behind it.
Yeah.
They got the hockey straps out and they're just doing all that bizzo and he was excited. Everyone was excited. The hosties were excited because this was Qantas don't usually fly to Vegas.
Yes.
So 400 people applied.
Yep.
400 hosties, and there was one from Brisbane, one from Sydney. So I don't know how many's on a plane, 30 odd.
Yep.
And they loved it.
So the rules are a little bit different with charter planes. Apparently, this was a charter plane, and this is a true story, Brian, which you would not know.
Wolfette, it's called. It's called a Wolfette.
Wolfette. So thank you, Lundy. Thank you, Brad the Owl. I saw Brad the Owl the other day. Anyway,
What, are you pissed, Turi?
Oh, I feel it.
You do feel it.
So charter planes rules are a little bit different.
Yes.
And it's not the same processes, so to speak, is my information. Alan Joyce, by the way, is back in the country. He snuck back in the country. I'll tell you what happened. I've got a really good story to tell you as well, actually relating to...
Hang on, just
get back to
the
they went to the passenger list.
Yes.
And names were spotted, B. Fletcher
Yes.
and M. Johns.
Yes.
And that caused, apparently, an extra 8 cartons to be ordered for the plane.
Yeah.
That's true.
No, we're on the Vinos.
Yeah, well, that's...
Cancel. So hot right now. Cancel.
Hey, tourists, go back to your wedding
Sorry, it
speech.
was supposed to be this one.
Cool story, Harry.
Cool story.
Thanks, Olaf.
But what
Anyway,
I'm
it's called
finding when I
Wolfette.
get into America, I just love Jack Daniels just by itself on ice.
Yeah.
Neat. Far out, it was
Sound like
good.
McConaughey.
Oh, it was awesome.
Will you do it back here?
I don't do it back here. I tried
No.
to do it back here over the summer, and I was just going, this is rank.
How much of a friend will Bed be tonight?
Oh. Didn't sleep very well.
No.
And you know how you always hear about the rumours that they put pure oxygen through the air conditioning so it keeps you up at night.
Yep.
And they have the different carpet colour to the wall to make you feel dizzy.
No clocks, no windows.
Clocks, no windows.
Yep.
I think the oxygen thing's a go
It is a go.
because I couldn't sleep.
No.
I was just up.
But you weren't tired.
I was buggered.
Oh, you bugger.
I was buggered. But I'd get home at, say, 2 o'clock
If you could go back and relive one of the days you were there,
Tuesday.
6 nights too many.
First Tuesday we got there.
Yeah.
First Tuesday in March.
The day you landed.
So this is the team.
Yeah.
Johns, Hindmarsh, Gallen,
Yep.
Graham
Yeah.
by 2.
Oh,
Wade,
Salary cap?
see, Wade would have been a sneaky player.
very good.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Graham,
Yes.
very good. Then B-Moz pops in.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's a fairly good
good gang.
Good gang. Then we got Inglis. Then we got Semi Thaiday.
Yep.
Wow.
So it was a pretty solid gang.
Yeah, good gang.
And
Oh.
we ended up down in Old Freeman. Oh, the other thing too, if you have a win on the Pokes and the Hedgehog, you've brought it up here, you get if anything you earn over $1,200 US, they tax you 30%.
You got to bin the pokes. With that rule, you just can't win. You can't win anyway on those bloody things.
It's tough. I played craps. I still don't understand it.
No.
David Gallup was there.
Yep. So come with me, yeah.
Yeah. He was playing
What was
craps.
he doing there?
Because his venue's New South Wales.
Gotcha.
He's going to put a roof on Allianz for us.
Reconnaissance.
Wow.
Lucky there was a roof. I don't know if you saw any vision of what was going on. It was 80-mile winds.
Yeah, I heard that.
Category 3 hurricanes start at 70 miles.
Well, they reckon that hurt the crowd.
Did it?
Yeah. It was just too hard to get there, too hard basket.
Yeah. Yeah.
For the locals, if you were 50-50 about going.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I suppose.
Anyway, plenty more still to get through. It is the run home with Joel and Fletch. The band is back in full swing. The Tourist is here. Brooks is here.
Yep.
The Bears Head is here. But what we need is we haven't really had the calls this week because they're probably not home of everyone who's been to Vegas. For example, the Gilgandra team, the Chris Waller of the Golden West. We need to hear from people like that. How did they survive? How did you survive Las Vegas? 1300 01 1170 or text 0457 736 736. You know a good thing to do in the break? Jump onto YouTube, The Run Home with Joel and Fletch, and subscribe to that little bad boy, and we'll be back right in a minute.